I'm gonna take one last question from...
Please? Urgent. Mr. Conroy, I have a really relevant...
I just want to say that our action doesn't support widespread designated growers. It's caregiver-designated growers. So if the patient can't grow for themselves, the patient is the patient's right, not any designated grower's right. The patient picks the caregiver for them.
Yeah,
that's the model that we're...
The Prime Minister and our Health Canada will deal with it.
We hope so.
Hopefully it.
You can have the last question.
Thank you. Good evening, one and all. Welcome. I'm so glad to see this. It's 40 years overdue. I've been fighting this fight, and I want to see it. And I'll stand here and tell you that I have a family history with the CCF and the NDP party, and I backed in all the way. But Justin's getting my vote, because his dad was one of the most amazing men this country ever saw.
Hell yeah!
Our freedom from that bitch across the water that we're going to pay for her retirement. I am a healthcare professional with 3 medical degrees. Mr. Levine will vouch for me. So will Mr. Larson, and so will Jody. While Mark traveled across this country, I wrote letters with my initials saying we should be able to choose our medicine. I am a certified healthcare giver. I recognize people here. I know what it's about, Dave. I empathize with you. I have a conflict of interest. I have 3 degrees to practice medicine, cannot have an MAR, because then I can't be a caregiver or teach. I am an educator. Jody, all of you people, Mr. Conroy, this is about changing the young people. I wish Dr. Renaud was here tonight to speak to the drug policy. Our kids need to be educated at kindergarten about this, not the DARE program, not fear and intimidation. They need to know their rights. I've known my rights. I have never pulled pot out of my purse, and I've been growing for 40 years, and I'll tell you exactly how old I am at 40 to 15. I'm proud of who I am. I smoke this herb. I educate. I teach at the college level. Educate. I'll get it right, but this is it. To legislate so that we can regulate our medication and live forever. And if Chris Bennett's here, please tell them what anointing oil has in it. Cannabis. 30,000 years of sacred herb. I want my weed. And here's the new t-shirt. Harper's ass is my grass. Fuck you, people. Oh, and Mr. Conroy, I'd like to clarify prescription. I have carried a prescription always from my doctor. I've never had a problem. I have never been refused by a dispensary. Again, I need clarification because I'm going to open something that is 420 friendly for all of us people and all you people across this nation that are sick. If I have to run for Healthcare Canada, I will, because I can't believe the bullshit that's going on. Come on, people, don't be apathetic. Stand up, vote, and give this young man and all our children, grandchildren a future. If you're educated, you can make informed choices. Don't buy into the propaganda. I'd like to know about caregivers and prescriptions. Are we going to be able to carry more than 150 on a prescription with this? Like, that really needs to be clarified, because I'm going to supply caregivers to people that are 420 friendly so that nobody has to deal with PPD.
You'll have to wait for the court decision.
Okay,
So in the interim, my doctor gives me a prescription note, which I have with me right now. What should it say? I don't have an MMAR.
Prescribe you what he thinks.
And let's stop these growers from giving us garbage weed.
Thank you. Where's the THC? Where's the 27%?
Thank you.
This is stuff that
I'm
we
going to draw
can't
this.
use.
I'm going to draw this. I want to draw this to a close now, and I'm sure there are a lot of other conversations people want to have, and I'd encourage you to have them after this, and as you spill it onto the streets as well, if we have to close up shop soon. What I'd like to do, though, first is to thank people for their presentations. I'd like to thank the panel for their presentation. Can I have people's attention again, please? Sorry, I know people are anxious to go, but I do want to say thanks to our special guest for speaking. I also want to say thanks to all of you for coming out tonight and coming out and listening and actually asking questions that are relevant. And thank you. What I want to say is the Liberal Party is in it to win it. Our goal is to make the next government, is to form the government in 2015. My goal personally, and the goal of the Electoral District Association for Van East, is to actually win a Liberal or get a Liberal elected as an MP for Vancouver East. It's very clear to us, and it's clear to you, if you have a member of Parliament sitting at the government table, your voice gets taken more seriously. And this is no disrespect to Mrs. Davis, because she's been a great advocate for years and years and years and years. But as a member of the opposition, her ability to influence government is through writing letters. Wouldn't it be nice if we could have somebody sit at the table, talk to
I'll
the
write
minister
every letter
directly?
you want.
So, but in order to do that, we need your help, and there's 3 ways you can help us, and so I'm gonna reach out to you now. One of the ways, obviously, and we always ask this, is to donate to the extent that you can. Tonight, we're gonna pass the hat. The intent for us is to hold policy discussions or town halls like this over the next year, engaging people around different topics, social policy issues that are important to all of you. In order to do that, we do need to raise funds. In order to manage a campaign successfully, we need to raise funds. There are 2 ways you can donate. We have buckets that Mark is passing around, and any donation up to $20, but not more than $20, please, that you could make, we would really appreciate. A second way you could help by donating is to become Victory Fund members, and that is a regular donation that you make. Could be $5, could be $10, could be $20 a month. Comes directly out of your account, you don't even see the loss of it. If that is possible, and I recognize it isn't for everybody, that would be great. But the third way which everybody can participate and help us, which doesn't cost you any money but does cost you time and commitment, is to volunteer with us. We have papers in the back, we have forms you can fill out, either become a member of the party or identify yourselves to volunteer with the party, and we really appreciate your help. As I said, we're in it to win it. It's our goal to